Welcome to my channel, The Drama Show, Fireworks of My Heart. Hey guys, so in the last part, we saw that Mr. Sue has now retired from his fire station. He is honored with many awards as well. And seeing him leave, Song was very sad. Now, when the ceremony is complete, Mr. Suo says goodbye to all his students before leaving. They used to think of him as very strict initially, but now, as he's leaving, all the trainees become very sad. They say, "The best soldier we have ever seen is you." After meeting his students, it was time to meet his best friend. And then he hugs Song. He says, "My prayer is that you always stay safe." And then before he says something else, the fire alarm starts ringing and they all get ready for their next mission. But today, Song was very sad. It was the first time that he was going on a mission without Sue. And now, he has to get used to it because it's always going to be like this. When all the people go on the mission, Sue comes inside and gathers all the scattered things of those boys. All his memories were connected to this fire station. One by one, Sue remembers everything. And then, with a heavy heart, he says goodbye to that place forever. He was very uncertain about his life. He didn't know what was going to happen to him. But just then, his fiancée arrives. She gives him a bouquet and says, "What did you think? That we had broken up? I will never leave you. You were already so handsome for me yesterday, and today you look even more handsome." She is happy and says, "Now, finally, my dream will come true. You will be with me." And she takes him home with her. Meanwhile, Ik-soo-kin had gone to her mom's place. Her mom was insisting on her repeatedly, saying, "I've given you so many photos. At least choose someone for a blind date." Now she opens the envelope and the first photo she sees. She selects him. The boy's name was Jiang Yu. Actually, he was the same high-tech boy we saw Song with last time at the seminar. Mom is very happy that at least her daughter has chosen someone. Now, she gives Ik-soo-kin his number and says, "Talk to him, and also decide on a place to meet him." After that, we see Song, who is now under the guidance of a boss who seemed to talk a lot today. He lectures him for a whole hour and say, "I have complete faith in you. You'll manage our fire station even without Sue." And in the end, he wanted to give him a gift of a box of tea leaves. But our hero, Song, had quite an attitude. He leaves the place without taking that box for the boss. Today was Song's first day at the fire station, officially taking over after Sue retired. He had to undergo training with a new partner. While doing all of this, he couldn't help but miss Sue a lot because they had been so attached for all those years. And Sue was his best friend. On the other hand, we see Dr. Ik-soo-kin at the hospital. When the burnt girl regains consciousness, she screams loudly. She was not ready for surgery and dismisses all the doctors. She wanted to die. She couldn't bear to live with half of her body burned like this. Dr. Yang was very kind-hearted. She goes in and tries to console her, but the girl attacks Yang and says horrible things, telling her, "You don't have a burned face like mine. You can't understand my pain." On the other hand, we see a firefighter named Chi on a rescue mission. Due to a gas leak, a person's life was in danger inside an apartment. He goes inside and, risking his life, manages to rescue the person and bring them out safely. However, when the person regains consciousness, instead of thanking him, he starts saying hurtful things, scolding Chai and questioning why they didn't let him die. In reality, it wasn't an accident, but a suicide case. Chai is deeply hurt by this, and Song also notices this distressing situation. When Song returns to the fire station, he says to Chi, "Our profession is like this. No matter how much good we do for others, people always speak ill of us, but it shouldn't affect our work. We serve the nation, and we will continue to do so." On the other hand, Dr. Yang goes back the next day to explain to the girl that she should get ready for surgery, but she gets angry at her and throws her out, saying, "I don't want to live like this. I wish I had died." She creates a scene in front of everyone. We see the girl had been in severe depression, but when everyone leaves, Ik-soo comes to her and tells her, "Do you know the firefighter who saved your life? His own face is burnt, and one of his hands is disabled. He risked his life to save you. even knowing the harm it would cause to himself. Hearing this, the girl feels really bad. And when she learns about Mr. Su's tragic story, her heart melts. Here, Exu tells her, you must live for the sake of the person who sacrificed for your survival. Later, when everyone finds out that the same patient, Min, is now ready for surgery, they are all astonished, wondering what Dr. Exu said to make a patient who used to ignore everyone now listen to her. Then we see that Min undergoes many surgeries, starting with the first one. Now, the next day, when Exu and Chen return home, their mother is sitting there with a receipt and asks Chen, where did the 150,000 yuan from your account go? Upon hearing this, Chen becomes frightened. And Exu never thought that their mother would check his balance too. She used to think she was the adopted daughter, so only her balance was being checked. But their mother was equally meticulous in checking her son's finances. And Chen has to tell a lie, saying, a friend of mine needed help, so I paid a fine on his behalf. He protests a bit, asking why you check so thoroughly. She replies, if I didn't, how would I know that you went to the police station and got fined? Then, after that, she makes Exu sit next to her, and she says, right now, message Jiang and invite him to meet at a place. She even takes the mobile from Exu and checks the message herself. Now she sends Exu upstairs. Later she scolds Chen, saying, where did you learn to lie? I know very well that you arranged all this for Song. If your reach goes far, remember, I am also your mother. My reach goes even further than yours. Here, Chen feels really sad. He was a billionaire, but only on paper because he couldn't spend a single rupee without his mother's permission. Well, the day comes when Exu meets Jiang on a blind date. After meeting, both of them start feeling quite awkward. They didn't know what to talk about. First, Jiang starts talking about the hospital and his duties, but Exu seemed lost in her thoughts. She didn't seem interested in his words at all. Just then, Jiang starts a conversation with Exu about his favorite TV series. And at that moment, Xu receives a message that 150,000 yuan has been transferred to her account. These funds were sent back by Song. As soon as she sees the message, Xu immediately comes up with an excuse, saying she's received an emergency call and needs to go to the hospital. She gets in her car and messages Song, mustering the courage to invite him to dinner. Song was feeling positive today. Perhaps he liked Miao's advice. He agrees without any hesitation, saying, all right, we'll meet. In the next scene, Song is sitting with his aunt, who tells him, look, it's time for you to start dating. How long will you keep dwelling on Exu's memory? I'll tell you. You need to make a decision, Song's aunt says. Song, in response, quiets her by saying, all right, I will make a decision and let you know. In fact, he had already made a decision. He had decided to open his heart to Exu once again. Meanwhile, Xu was having lunch with her mother, and she asked about the date with Jiang. She explained, I had to leave early due to an emergency. And then, gathering her courage, she tells her mother, Mom, I think I might have feelings for someone else. Her mother already knew about Song. She simply tells Exu, remember, don't force myself to do anything, and let's ensure history doesn't repeat itself. And then, we see that when Xu Qin went abroad to study, Song would regularly send her letters, but her mother would burn all the letters. She never let Exu know how much Song yearned for her. And this is where this part ends. To see what happens next, stay connected. If you liked this video, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe to my channel, The Drama Show. And don't forget to press the bell icon so that you stay updated on upcoming videos. Until then, goodbye and take care. Thank you for watching.